Yes, welcome everyone to this brand new trade breakdown on gold. Right in front of me we have the gold chart and it's currently the 12th of March and I had to upload the 10th of March, so that's what we're going to discuss today. And we're going to dive straight into price action. As you guys can see, we're on the 4-hour time frame, and in a previous breakdown, I've mentioned that we were in a sideways market. Price have been moving sideways and it's been moving sideways ever since. But the area which we have used to gain a lot of percentages in the past few days has been rejected, or at least price broke out of that region. So now we're currently looking at price action as of now going more bullish than bearish. So let's dive straight into the breakdown from 10th of March because it was a losing position. And as much as I like sharing the wins with you guys, it's also important to share those losses with you guys, so you guys can also see where I make my mistakes and how you can avoid making those mistakes yourself. So if we're gonna go straight into it, we see market is moving sideways, and right here I had my swap area, which is now in a crucial region because we don't know whether price will drop from here or price will go up from here. As we can see, price has been breaking out and reaching for these lows right here, and now price is going up further. And that's also one of the reasons why it's important to clean up your chart so you don't trade off of old areas. But once you're in that sideways market, as we discussed in the previous breakdown, you can leave those zones pretty much, because if price keeps respecting those areas, you can just make use of those zones until they don't work anymore. So we go to the 1-hour time frame now, and on the 1-hour time frame we had this area right here. So, and then we had our area of demand right here. So if you go back also in the breakdown, you will see that this is exactly how I've mapped out my areas. And this area of liquidity has been taken out. This area of liquidity has been taken out by this push to the downside. And then we have gained momentum once again. Price came in this region, tapped in, and as we go lower in time frame, we can see that we had this area being respected once. So this area of demand, which has now turned into supply, has been respected as being supply multiple times. So right here we had the respect of this demand area, which is now supply. Price came back down into this area of demand, grabbed some liquidity, and then moved back up to the upside, back into supply. And we've tapped in, made use of this area, came back down, entered for a buy, took profits here, and then we broke out of this area. And then we made use of the 4-hour swap zone. Price came in, took out some liquidity, and then came back down. So we're just following what price does basically. But the real question is, okay, then how did you lose your position? What is the area where you've lost this position on the 10th of March on? Well, first of all, we came in, made use of this sell area right here, took profits. Once again, sell, took profits, and then we got stopped out here because we bought quite early, got stopped out, and then price came back up. And because of that stop out, I was convinced that price will reject this area. As we can see here, price came up, small fake out, and then price rejected. And then it hit our first take profit right here. Yeah. Our first take profit was exactly here. I don't know for what reason, but our first take profit was here, and then the second take profit was somewhere below here. And then the third take profit was exactly at the start of this demand level. Price reached take profit 1, and then we got stopped out right here, and then price came back immediately again. So that's unfortunate, but we've entered off of this baseline. Yeah, so we've entered off this baseline with a 200 pip stop loss, and this is how our trade looked. 1.2 risk to reward approximately. Yeah, right before the stop out. Price came here. How many pips did we get from the first take profit? That was 200. So we took some partials earlier, but we have 3 positions running. So we divide our risk into 3 positions. So we can pretty much take partials and still lock in profit. But once stop loss is hit, it balances out and you end up negative afterwards, depending on how you divide your lot sizes as well. But yeah, so this is actually how we've been stopped out of our position right here, and then price came back, and then we're pretty much left price for what it is, because we've already made use of this area right here, and then we went for the last position and we got stopped out. But what our mistake was in this trade, which I'll show you in a bit. Let's play back price so we can see what actually happened. So let's go to the 15 minutes. Before we go there, let's turn on the volume profile indicator. Let's see where high volume lies. We go a bit up in time frame before we do that. Yeah, so volume has not been really like lining up with this area as well. So there wasn't confluence on the side of volume, but as you can see from the past few trades we took on this range of previous demand, which now has turned into supply, this area right here, and demand, that there were a lot of like opportunities lying, and we've made use of those. And now we're gonna play price to see how we've been stopped out. So if you guys can see, price is approaching, entry has been triggered, and then low volume, take profit 1 hit, and then we got stopped out. And then price went back up. So that's how we've been stopped out on this position. But where did we make our mistake? If you can see right here on the 1 hour time frame, and I do think we need to go a bit lower in time frame to spot the mistake. Yeah, so now we're looking at the 30-minute time frame. I'm gonna clean up the chart so I can show you guys clearly where we've made this mistake. On the 1 hour, you can see that we had this area of demand right here, And then we had this liquidity resting right here. And with this strategy, you can either draw your area of supply and demand on an indecision candle, as we can see here, or on a wick. And if we go lower in time frame on the 30 minutes, we can see that we have an indecision resting here as well. And therefore, when price comes and it pretty much like breaks out of this area and retests, and then it goes back up, we could have like placed our positions at a more, at a better area, just to see that price is eventually not respecting this area anymore, like so. And then you would place your stops approximately 180 to 200 pips below this area. And that's how you could make use of this area. And I think also that is where we, not I think, I know for sure that that's where we made our mistake. Because as you can see, price is lining up perfectly with this area. And once an area of supply or either demand is tested more than 3 times, then the area is not valid anymore. And the previous area which we've been trading off was used more than 3 times, and we still went back for the 4th time. You know, that has also been one of the indications that this area might not be valid anymore. So that's unfortunate, but this is where the mistake was. And what can we learn from that? In future trades, when an area is made use of more than 2 times, so 2 times we came into that area, placed our positions, and we've won our trades, then we need to clean up the chart and start all over with analyzing, finding the areas to buy or either sell off, and then continue in the right direction, just as we can see right in front of me right now. And price came back for the 2nd time, and I'm convinced price will probably come back for the 3rd time, and then choose whether it's gonna go up from here or either down back into this region, and probably even lower. This was the breakdown for today, 12th of March. Right now, this breakdown is for the 10th of March. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and comment down below these breakdowns if you want more of those. See you guys in the next one.